kamati ya nyumbani, unatuma polisi kuua watu wenu. Wewe Ichong'wa.
Tension and chaos in Kikuyu. A political rally was disrupted and the questions now emerging over security and control. The Democracy for Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua was on Saturday tear-gassed in Kikuyu town after police moved to disperse a gathering of youth, triggering a chain of events that spiraled into violence, panic and also multiple reported injuries. What began as a political engagement quickly turned into a scene of disorder, and according to witnesses on the ground, the situation escalated when an unidentified individual stormed into the crowd carrying a sack full of bees. The unexpected act caused an immediate panic among supporters, many of whom began fleeing in different directions. In the confusion that followed, the individual carrying the bees was reportedly seriously injured after being stabbed. The motive behind the act remains unclear, but the impact was immediate and severe. Within minutes, the atmosphere shifted from political gathering to a full-blown confrontation, and riot police moved in, deploying tear gas canisters in an effort to disperse the crowd. Thick clouds of smoke engulfed sections of the town as people scrambled for safety. Some ran blindly through narrow streets, others sought shelter behind buildings and roadside structures. Despite the crackdown, a section of Gachagua's supporters remained defiant, chanting party slogans. They resisted police efforts to clear the area, demanding that their leader be allowed to address them. The standoff intensified as more officers were deployed to the scene. Police also fired shots into the air, and the warning shots were aimed at pushing back the crowd, but they added to an already tense environment. The sound of gunfire, combined with the tear gas and the earlier bee incident, created widespread fear and confusion. Amid the chaos, several people were reportedly trampled, and also the crowd surged and retreated in panic, and some individuals fell and were unable to get up in time. There are growing concerns that a number of injuries could be higher as emergency response efforts struggled to keep pace with the unfolding situation. At the center of it all was Rigathi Gachagua. The DCP leader remained at the scene even after the tear gas was lobbed. Visuals from the ground showed him attempting to manage the situation, instructing supporters to use water to counter the effects of the tear gas. Here's the tip. His press. Appeared to steady some members of the crowd, but tensions remained high. Meanwhile, access to and from Kikuyu town was severely restricted. Police blocked the key roads leading into the area, effectively sealing off the town center. Movement was disrupted for several hours, affecting both residents and businesses. Earlier in the day, a separate but possibly connected incident had already raised alarm. Along the southern bypass, movement was brought to a standstill after groups described as goons blocked the road. Motorists also were reportedly forced to stop, with some being asked to pay money before being allowed to proceed. The disruption caused a long traffic snarl-ups and a heightened anxiety among commuters, and in response to the events, Gachagua linked the unrest in Kikuyu and along the southern bypass to what he described as a broader and a coordinated scheme. He alleged that the involvement of organized groups working in tandem with the elements of the security apparatus. Gachagua further claimed that such groups were being used to suppress dissent and also intimidate political opponents. He described what he termed as growing entrenchment of goonism within state operations, and in his remarks he also pointed fingers at Kimani Ichung'wa, causing the National Assembly majority leader of being behind the chaos witnessed during the rally. The claims, however, remain unverified, and at some point the accusations have added a political dimension to an already volatile situation, raising concerns over the role of the security forces and the conduct of political activities in the public spaces. Gachagua did not stop there. He extended his criticism to the administration of William Ruto, alleging that the use of informal groups had become normalized under the current government. And according to him, such groups were increasingly operating alongside official security agencies. He further suggested that Kenya's recent multinational police deployment to Haiti may have served additional purposes beyond its stated mission. He claims that the claim pointed to what he described as possible learning or integration of unconventional methods into security operations. Again, these claims remain allegations without independent confirmation, and back on the ground in Kikuyu, the situation remained tense for hours, and the police struggled to fully restore order as pockets of resistance continued. Supporters lingered, some regrouping, others trending to those affected by Teargas or minor injuries. For residents and traders in the area, the day brought disruption and uncertainty. Shops remained closed, public transport was affected, and the daily routines were interrupted by the unfolding events. The incident now raises broader questions about crowd control, about the conduct of political gatherings, and about the balance between maintaining order and protecting the right to assemble. For many observers, the events in the Kikuyu highlight the fragile line between political expression and public safety. They also underscore the risks that come with the heightened political tension, especially in crowded urban settings. As investigations continue, attention will likely turn to identifying the individual behind the incident, understanding the circumstances that led to the stabbing, and assessing the response for law enforcement. There will also be scrutiny over the claims made by political leaders, and also whether any evidence emerges to support or refute them. For now, what remains clear is this: a planned political engagement which turned into a day of chaos. Lives were put at risk, normal life was disrupted, and the community was left grappling with the aftermath. In Kikuyu, the smoke was clearer, and the questions remain about safety, accountability, and the future of the political engagement on the ground. That is all for today, at least for now. Kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our content as a way of motivating us and also helping us grow this platform. Equally, hit the notification bell, turn it on, so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we upload a new video.